Our kids would like to hear something awful I done when I was young, if you could possibly think of anything. That means, okay, Mary, we weren't going to town.
This is the story of our friend Mary Louise Williams, as we knew her. We're looking back some 50 years, so not all of these facts are clear, but the story is true, sort of. Mary Louise Williams grew up in Maymont and went to school in Maymont. She was known to be a rather shy little girl, and then a shy young lady. But as years went on and she was nearing graduation, we noticed a few changes in Mary Louise. She seemed to be getting over her shyness and started noticing boys. Heaven forbid. Addie, her mother, was starting to worry about Mary Louise when one day Mary Louise announces to her parents that she has a boyfriend. And he worked on the road gang, and his name was Bert. Poor Addie was at her wit's end, so she contacted Christine and I to try and keep track of Mary Louise. She didn't want this Bert fellow taking advantage of her little Mary Louise. We reluctantly agreed, but we sure weren't going to rat on our friend. No way.
Soon I get a frantic call from Addie saying Bert picked up Mary Louise. I emailed Edna by dial-up, and we decided they may be going into Maymont for a soda pop. But we knew they wouldn't be likely drinking it in the Maymont Cafe. Yes, they'd probably be going to the old gravel pit just outside of Maymont, way around back, in the trees, where no one would catch them. Edna and I met up, we sneaked around, and sure enough, there was a 52 red and black Ford. And we saw two heads, and so we decided she was in good hands. We got the heck out of there. We reported back to Addie that they were indeed having a soda pop in Maymont Cafe.
Next time, I get an emergency call from Dad. Bert came and took Mary again, and he left a message. Shall we gather at the river? Addie concluded from this that he was taking her to church, and she was really excited. Maybe he wasn't that bad of a fellow after all. After consulting with Christine, we knew he wasn't taking her to church for all the right reasons, but we interpreted the message to mean they were going down to the park at the river. We hurried on down there, casing the place, and sure enough, we spotted them walking along the river. They were even holding hands. We discussed what we saw and thought there was nothing wrong with that. Mary Louise appeared to be in good hands. Addie kept us busy. The dust on the rabbit road never settled during Mary's courting days.
One night, we got another call from Addie. Bert picked up Mary Louise and told Addie he was taking her fishing. But Addie was concerned because Mary Louise was terrified of fish, and she didn't even take any fishing equipment. Edna and I put our heads together and we had it solved in a minute. They were going to the old swimming hole south of Maymont, south of town. We agreed to meet and sneak down and see what was up. We parked our horses in the trees. We saw a vehicle, but we couldn't get a good look without sneaking a little closer. We crept up through the bushes. We could hear this giggling and laughing going on and water splashing. But we knew right away it was Mary's laugh. As we got closer, having a hard time to contain our excitement, that's when we saw it with our own eyes. Mary Louise and Bert skinny dipping in the old We knew then that Mary Louise was out of our control. We chose not to tell Addie, or ever tell this story, ever, never. We cut our fingers and mixed our blood, and we swore on the National Enquirer that we would never breathe a word of this. But as you know, the National Enquirer has a way of finding out these stories, so it may or may not be true. You be the judges.
We also noticed in the National Enquirer that the year 2018, Sarah Bodwine will be 100 years old. As time moves on and our memories slip a bit, I guess we forgot our promise. But this, my friends, is no fish story.